Tell your neighbor. You're listening to the #1 internet radio station on the planet. WBND.
What's going on, Facebook family? How y'all doing? Another Ty and Cody on Purpose show live in the studio. Y'all know how we do each and every day about this time. I have to make this public so that way you all can all share the post with your family and friends. And guess what, y'all? It's public.
Do you know the importance of
We got a great show for y'all. We got some special guests in the studio with me. I'll give you a quick shout out to who they are as of right now. We help people improve their credit scores Dr. by challenging inaccurate, obsolete, Dr. Pastor Leon and First Lady Rochelle Williams in the building with us. We're actually having a great show. We got some good information. You might want to cut your volume.
For more information, contact us at 888-466-6104. Again, that's 888-466-6104.
It's Ty and Cody on Purpose.
Ty and Cody show with WBND Radio.
It's Ty and Cody on Purpose. WBND Radio.
We're doing marriage unfiltered. Ty and Cody show.
WBNDradio.com.
Catch us every Monday at 8:30 p.m.
Live purposefully.
Love purposefully on Ty and
Cody on Purpose.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning, y'all.
Welcome back, family.
Welcome back. I always got to sing something. If it ain't .com, I got to sing "Welcome Back, Carter" or something. I gotta make this thing happen. Welcome back, y'all. Ty and Cody on Purpose. Y'all know how we do each and every Monday, 8 to 9 p.m. on WBNDradio.com. Exactly. I don't got my bell. We can at least sing .com.
Man, bring the bell out, man. Quit playing. Bring the bell out.
I don't even know what that bell is no more. It's entertainment. Cody and I in the studio. Ty and Cody, thank y'all. We have to give our shout outs as we usually do about this time to WBND Radio family for tuning in with us. Our Tune In Radio family.
What's going on, folks?
Most importantly, can't forget about our Facebook family. Facebook, thank y'all for tuning in and following us each and every Monday and sharing the video and radio and all that good stuff with your family and friends. I always make the video public. So
I need to share it on our pages.
Yes, we need to share it on our pages because sometimes I forget to share.
I got you.
We have a whole checklist of stuff that we never get done before the show. But yeah, that's just how we do. Y'all know how we do. Got to give a shout out to our people here on Facebook. Okay, so before I acknowledge this guy, let me, Eric, what's going on, Eric? You always in the building with us. What's going on, Curtis? And to my right, I have to acknowledge before I move any forward, before I acknowledge the other person that I saw just join. To my right, and you can't see, it's a duo. You can only see one half of the
a dynamic duo at that.
You can only see one half of the duo. We got special guests in the building with us today. They're joining us for our marriage unfiltered conversation. Y'all know how we do. We like to talk about anything and everything when it comes to marriages and relationships to encourage you along in your journey. And with us in the studio today, we have, and I'll say, Dr. Master Pastor Leon and Rochelle, First Lady Williams.
What's up, Facebook, radio? What's going on?
Yes. Leon's actually sat in with us before. He's been kind of in the corner one time, but we definitely, Eric said to squeeze y'all in so that he can see y'all.
Oh my gosh.
But
I don't know if I can fit.
So I had to acknowledge y'all because Martin just joined us online. Leon.
Oh, what's up, Martin?
What's going on, Martin? So yeah, I just had to say I had to get that one in there. So yeah, if Martin so let me give a quick backstory before we jump into this. So Leon and I, we actually met because our kids played football together for a team here in the Charlotte area. And we wound up being, just a group of fathers who actually sat on the inside of the fence. They wasn't kicking us on out. They tried. Yeah, they tried. They tried to kick us out. Actually, literally, they tried, and we refused. And we actually got together as a strong group of fellas that wound up becoming fairly close. And Leon is a pretty dope dude, I'd have to say. So it's me, Leon, Martin, and Al. Yeah, and can't forget about our brother X. Eddie. For those who don't remember Eddie actually sat in with us in the studio last year. Him and his wife Summer. They actually sat in with us on the studio, and we had a great opportunity to speak with them on a male versus, or actually husbands versus wives panel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
it was
missed
pretty
out.
cool. It was pretty cool.
It was cool.
We'll have to do it again to have y'all in the studio with us as well. So, as I always do about this time, if you all have not downloaded the WB&D Radio app, go ahead and download the WB&D Radio app so you all can get in on this great inspirational station 24/7 where you can let your voice be heard, y'all. You can get it on the Google Play Store as well as the iTunes Music Store for your mobile devices. What's going on, Tia? For your mobile devices as well. So get in on the WB&D action.
Get the app, man.
Get the app. So let's jump. We have a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to skip a lot of the other preliminary stuff that I usually do, and we're going to jump in on our marriage joke of the week. So let me tell Leon and Rochelle here my marriage joke of the week. I know you all listen, but let me just preface. I always got to preface my audience. I don't make up these jokes, so if you don't find it funny, don't shoot me. Every now and then Cody finds them funny. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. This joke is called Holy Land, as I like to call it. Ready? Here we go. Don't shoot me again if it's not funny. I don't make them up. I just find them funny. A guy goes on vacation to the Holy Land with his wife and mother-in-law. The mother-in-law dies. Womp, womp, womp. They go to an undertaker who explains that he can ship the body home, but that it will cost $5,000, whereas they can bury her in the Holy Land for only $150. The guy says, well, ship her home. The undertaker asks, are you sure? That's awfully big expense when we can just do a nice burial here. The guy looks at the guy says, look, 2,000 years ago, they buried a guy here, and 3 days later, he arose from the dead. I can't take that chance. Rochelle found it funny. Thank you. Ding. Thank you. She got the joke.
Okay.
What say you, Facebook family? What say you? Our producer, his eyebrows is going. I don't know if you got him this week.
I ain't get you with that with Moses.
You got me. Got me.
You get it? Because, I know you got it.
Yeah.
So he don't want, they in the Holy Land. He like, look, Jesus rose from the dead. I don't need my mother-in-law raising from the dead. Y'all need to ship her back home. No. You know what? I quit. Thank you, Eric, for laughing. Rochelle is still laughing. And Leon just got his head.
It could just be my nerves. I want to give you all credit.
That's fine. That's okay. Let's move on to our hot topics, y'all. Our hot topics, y'all. As we usually do about this time, we go through our days and months. We actually are in a new month. What day is it, Cody? I never know what day
March
it is.
6th.
It is March 6th. Where has the time gone? Seriously, already.
We're approaching end of first quarter. Can't believe it.
Right, and I ain't gonna lie. January to me was the slow month, and then February shot by. Now we're on. We're creeping into the middle of March, already. And there's a lot going on in the month of March. Forget you, Tia, for the womp womp.
Thank you, Tia.
So, actually, March is National Women's History Month.
Yeah.
So, got to give a shout out to women's history. Now, this is women of all races, all cultures, all that good stuff, but it's women's history.
That.
Yeah, Women's History Month. Yeah. So, of course, Mr. Entertainment is probably not going to ask, but I'm going to ask, when is Men's History Month? Well, we always
good
get
call.
shafted.
I like that. We don't get nothing.
We don't get nothing.
Okay, so don't complain about it. Create it.
Now, see, you made it sound like we lucky to get Father's Day. I'm just saying. Cody,
no.
come on now.
All I'm saying is don't complain about it. If you see that there's a need, create it.
Right, but I think it'll come better
No.
join. Because
I guarantee you, a man didn't create the Women's History Month.
Uh-oh. Let's go to the...
I'm going back in my corner again. See, I was doing good in my corner.
I was about to say, next date. Let's go to the next date. So, this is actually a cool one because this one speaks to something that Cody specifically should know about. But National Credit Education Month.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and the reason I say Cody specifically should know about it is because Cody actually helps, and she actually helped me personally get my credit together.
I played the commercial earlier for those of you that slept through it or was turning over your green beans and rice. I'll play it again at the end of the show. Get your credit right.
Yes, it's so important.
Get your credit right. And it's interesting because a lot of us, we can't buy a house. I can't buy a car.
Yeah.
I can't get this, that, and the third in my name. But it's National Credit Education Month. So, and it's really, I personally would give my personal story. I was scared to look at my credit report. Look at my credit score because I was like, I know it's it's at the bottom. It's in the pits. Right. But once I got used to it, and once I, got over that, I don't call it shock and awe, but it was, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I was like, okay, I felt better, and especially once I started to do something about it. It encouraged me to look at it more often and go, okay, I'm proud of myself. Like, I'm actually doing something.
Making progress.
Yeah, making progress. And so now I'm sitting there, I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting in the 700 club, my chest poked out.
Better. I had this old saying that, and a lot of people get mad at me when I say this, but if the baby ugly, let's call the baby ugly.
Yeah.
Why you gotta use a baby as an example? Why can't you use an animal?
It's called
a
the
dog?
truth. I mean, do we not call,
It's called a spade a spade.
There you go. I like that phrase better.
So then when you run my credit report and you go, ooh, instead of going, no, you jacked up. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, for me, though, when I look at that, I get excited because I see the potential and what can be done.
Same thing with the baby. I go, ooh.
You know what?
That baby can potentially be beautiful.
You know
I'm going there with you. I am not.
God is good. Look, y'all. Hey, we all came a long way. God is good. Especially over here. I'm just saying. Praise God for my wife. I love her. Glad she chose me.
I'm glad she did too.
For those who have just tuned in, you are tuned in to the Ty and Cody On Purpose show. In case you're wondering what the heck you were listening to, we are live in the studio, y'all. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We're live all day, every day, Monday.
I love you guys.
But this is my favorite day right here. My favorite day. National Girl Scouts Day. And the reason I say it's my favorite day because it's that time of the year where Girl Scout cookies are in full effect.
It is. Now, I do have one question. I'm on my soapbox again.
Okay.
Is there a reason why they only do it once a year? Because there's number one, there's money to be made. They're good cookies. And I'm just trying to figure out what's the secret.
I don't know, but I will say this. Cody and I had to ask Cody this the other day because we bought a couple boxes. Okay. We bought a couple boxes.
Don't tell the truth.
A couple times, like 10.
But a couple times.
Right. But they changed the taste of the cookies,
is that
man.
What it is? They threw more oomph in it.
No, they took a lot of oomph out of it.
Man, it tastes the same to me.
No, not to me.
No, it's different.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah. What kind y'all like?
I like Thin Mints.
You like Thin Mints? I haven't tried it. We haven't opened the Thin Mints yet. Okay. But the Samoas and the truffles?
Samoans taste the same. I don't know. Y'all must have got the bad batch.
I was with you.
Yeah, y'all must have got a bad batch.
Taste the same, but I haven't had them in a couple years, so I could be off.
You know, I'm misbehaving tonight. Let me stop.
But them Girl Scouts be out there making some money, no joke.
Y'all must have had the bootleg Girl Scouts. Like somebody must have repackaged. You better look at your packaging.
Yeah, the cookies from last year and they resold it to cookies from last year. Possibly so. But they actually have a kiosk in the mall. These little Girl Scouts be making, yes. If you go in the mall, they have a kiosk in the mall.
The Girl Scouts?
Yes.
Sure
no
do.
lie. You know you can usually get them outside of Walmart or
It's
Target.
kind of like the taxes where they open up a shop and put stuff in it.
Right. Yeah.
The Girl Scouts got the little shop.
Pop-up shop.
Right,
Yeah.
pop-up shop. So is that legal? What about the ones that set up outside in California, the medicinal marijuana places?
Girl Scout cookies medicinal.
Yes. Let's go to commercial.
I'm trying to see how this radio stuff works.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
There are Girl Scouts who actually set up because they make money.
Come on.
It is crazy, but yes, they actually make a ton of money setting up outside. You would think about it, this is actually a smart business idea, but who wants to put a little
That's
child
strategy.
outside? It is, but
I
to
like
put
it.
a child outside of it, that's
I'm sure
the
kids aren't
part
out
of the
there.
question. The parents can't. Well, they can.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, but
I
they
used to do it all the time.
Just give it to your mama and then you was a Girl Scout?
No, for Sid.
No, but I was asking if you was a Girl Scout.
No, I was not a Girl
Rochelle, was
Scout.
you ever a Girl Scout?
No.
Oh.
We're too busy for that.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Great organization, though. Great organization.
Absolutely. Keep doing your thing, guys.
Last but not least, is National Proofreading Day. It's on the 8th. And for those who are out there, those who are out there in social media land, y'all need to get y'all some spell checks, some proofreading, some something, because I'm tired of reading stuff that just don't make no sense at all.
Just hire me. I'll proofread your stuff.
I got one thing though. I gotta call Miss Valerie out on Facebook. Valerie, you know I love you, right? But she said men are honored all year. Now I need to know what Valerie. You need to call in. Like you need to give her that number.
That number is
no, you don't.
803-692-6370 for my mother-in-law to call in.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Valerie.
Because you know what? We got President's Day and all that, but I need to know something about like fathers. You know,
because we get the shaft.
What else do we get though? Like, I can't think of nothing. I'm sorry.
Father's Day and birthday.
That's it.
Exactly.
I need a National Clean Up the Yard Day.
Because then we would wind up having to do it.
You right about that?
See, we would wind up having to do it.
Miss Valerie, honor us a day, please.
Honor us a day.
And she does. She honors me as her son and her husband, and she definitely honors her father.
That's what's up. Okay.
So she gives the support.
Well, then she gets a thumbs up. Then
and so did I. And I would give Cody credit. Cody does a very good job honoring me as a husband. Yeah. So
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I do. I'm appreciative. Yeah. So, but I found this article online the other day, and I was watching very briefly Saturday Night Live before I fell asleep. You ever watch TV and all of a sudden a commercial come on, you just fall asleep
all the time.
Yeah, that was
it. Don't work out for me.
That was me the other day, and reading or hearing an article, hearing one of their news stories. I had to go look this up. So apparently, there is a church in North Carolina that has unconventional rules for sex and marriage. I did not make this up, y'all.
Okay.
I don't know where Spindale, North Carolina is. Maybe one of those small little towns. But
never heard of it.
No, never go. But in Spindale, North Carolina, when it comes to relationships, marriage, and sex, Word of Faith Fellowship members must follow strict and unusual rules or risk severe punishment, former members say. Some of the edicts. Here we go. This is the part that really threw me. Congregants need permission from leader Jane Whaley and other ministers to get married. And it can take months or even a year before the newlyweds are allowed to have sex. No one is allowed to date without permission, and most relationships and marriages are arranged by Whaley and ministers.
Oh, now Whaley, you're a little wrong for that.
This is in North Carolina, y'all. On their wedding night, couples are permitted only a godly peck on the cheek. When they get in bed together, they must roll over and go to sleep.
They better not be in the bed together. They can't even sleep together. If I was the pastor, nobody sleeps together in my church.
Yeah, I would not be going to your church. For all married couples, love making is limited to 30 minutes. No foreplay is allowed. The lights must be
you said
turned.
Married couples.
Married couples.
Oh, I thought it was the fornicating couple.
No. Married couples.
My bad.
The lights must be turned off, and only missionary position is sanctioned. Couples need permission from church leadership to have children.
Time me and you be kicked out.
Yes.
How many more bullets are there? Because I got an answer for all of this.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, one more. So couples need permission from church leaders to have children, and leaders dole out condoms to make sure unapproved women don't get pregnant.
Because they know when they had them kids that, the love offering go down a little bit because you got diapers and all that. And I did 10%. Let me just say it.
The former followers said, notice I said former followers, said couples violating rules can be publicly rebuked, subject to violence, and forced to separate.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What say you, Rochelle?
That is a cult. That sounds like that Scientology stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
You call it as
that
it
is a cult.
Yeah, you say call a spade or ugly child a ugly child.
Well, I take the paper back, though.
That is a cult.
So bad. After it came out, I felt so bad. I was like, let me take it back if I could, but it was too late.
Okay, so Eric, my brother Eric in Maryland. Go ahead, you about to say?
Yeah, thanks, Eric, for the quick research on the population of Spindle. It is only like 4,300 people in that city.
And there's a reason.
So because it's a cult. In Spindle, North Carolina, y'all.
And they don't allow, many children to be born.
Obviously so. Now, I'm sorry. Pastor.
Yo, what's up? Don't come back to that.
I mean, that is like, where do you get this from? Like,
not the Bible. Not the Holy Bible.
Not at all. God said, "Be fruitful and multiply."
Yeah.
I know people of other religions and other ethnicities, specifically Indian, that I work with, and a lot of them have arranged marriages, things like that. And I've actually spoken with some of my coworkers, and one specifically said that after being here in the United States for quite some time, they had an arranged marriage and so forth, but they don't want their children to have arranged marriages. So for someone to not necessarily denounce their own background and say, I don't want my children to do this, but to go to a church and have a church say, hey, we got to arrange your marriage. You can only have sex so many minutes in this way, and you can't have kids unless we approve your kids. What Kool-Aid are they drinking?
That Jim Jones juice.
Yeah.
Exactly. What Kool-Aid are they drinking? That is crazy.
Yeah,
Spindale, North Carolina, y'all. What you say?
I said that's getting a little too deep.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, because okay.
But I do like the fact that not all of that. But since Pastor Leon's here, I do like pastors being more involved in marriages as far as from a counseling standpoint. But from this is like, whew.
Because I'm wholeheartedly with a church should have a good marriage or a good family ministry,
Absolutely.
both a marriage ministry as well as a youth ministry, because obviously the marriage and the family is the nucleus of the church.
Close, yeah.
Right.
They bring in more people. Having kids is the future of the church, and so forth. But I mean, how you put a pause on? Like, come on, y'all. That's a little crazy there. I got to say that's crazy.
So for our listeners, that is not the norm. That is not freedom. That is not what God intended for marriage or even for a church family to be a part of. It's just not God ordained, and that's all I'll say.
That's right.
Yes. So check where you worship, people. Check where you worship. Y'all, we have a great show. If y'all have not, again, if you're just tuned in, you're tuned in to the Ty and Cody on Purpose show. My man Leon over here is ready to walk out the door already. We done scared him off.
He's like, where's the ministry at in here?
We done scared him off between Women's History Month and not getting credit for the fathers, and then the church over here sanctioning what you can do in your bedroom.
Going down up in here.
Y'all know how we do. Actually, we have a great show.
Amen.
We are talking about you come last. What does that mean? People who actually put other things, other people, even church for that matter, before their families, before their marriage. It's about to go down, y'all. Don't go anywhere. He got some stuff to say. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Actually, check out these couple messages. We got a couple messages for you right quick.
WBND Radio. Home of the Brothers and the Man Radio Show. This is gospel music.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I was trying to say.
But that's what you said. Does this sound like a typical conversation, your marriage?
Then join us for Marriage Battle 2017, breaking down communication barriers.
I'm Patrice Bush, the marriage coach, owner of It Takes Two Marriage Coaching.
I'm Tyron Robertson, owner, founder, and marriage coach at A Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching.
Intimate conference setting.
2 dynamic marriage coaches.
Breakout sessions with questions and answers.
Interactive format unlike any other marriage conference. You don't want to miss it.
Uncle Chris, Uncle Keith, Uncle Ricky. Before the Lord get me, I gotta say something quickly. I grew up iffy since my daddy wasn't with me, shoe. I wasn't picky, I'll take any male figure. You stepped in at the right time. It's cause of you that I write rhymes. You probably never knew that. I love the way you used to come through. Teach me to do the things that men do. And true, you showed me stuff I probably shouldn't seen. But you had barely made it out your teens. Took me under your wings. I wanted hats, I wanted clothes just like you. Lean to the side when I roll just like you. And care people didn't like you. You wanna bang, I wanna bang too. Skyline, Pyro. You would've died, I would've died too. too. You went to prison, got sick, lost your pops, yeah, I cried too. You never know what's right behind you. I got a little son now, and he do whatever I do. But it's something deep inside you that tell you it's gotta be more than doing what other guys do. They had nobody there to guide you, but I followed your footsteps, and this shouldn't surprise you. You realize you. Now all I see is money, cars, jewels, stars, womanizers, tough guys, guns, knives, and scars. Drug pushers, thug strippers, fast girls, fast life. Everything I wanted and everything I could ask life. If this ain't living and they lied, well, guess I married an old wives' tale. Wow, fail. I don't know another way to go. This is the only way they ever show. I got this emptiness inside that got me fighting for approval, cause I missed out on my daddy saying way to go. Ain't get that verbal affirmation. I know how to treat a woman, know how to fix an engine to keep the car running. So now I'm looking at the media and I'm following what they feed me. Rap stars, trap stars, whoever wants to lead me. Even though they lie, they still tell me that they love me. They say I'm good at bad things, at least they proud of me. I just wanna be like you.
Go tell your neighbor. Listening to the #1 internet radio station on the planet. WBND. WBND Radio. Home of the Brothers in Demand radio show. This is gospel music 24/7.
We come to worship Christ.
It's Ty and Cody on purpose.
Ty and Cody show with WBND.
Welcome back. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning, y'all.
You just sang.
What up, everybody?
You better sing it.
We are back. The Ty and Cody on Purpose is back live in the studio, y'all. Live in the studio. 803-692-6370 is the number here live in the studio. If y'all missed the first 30 minutes, y'all missed us cracking up and tripping out as usual. So, go ahead and rewind and listen to the first 30 minutes. What am I listening to? Like, what am I listening to, Moses? Y'all, anyway, share the video if you're on Facebook. Thank y'all for tuning in. Download the WBND radio app if you have not downloaded the WBND radio app. We are live in the studio. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. We have a great topic. Y'all know how we do the second half. We always got to get serious for a quick 2.5 seconds, literally, because y'all know I can't help but to crack jokes and be funny at times. At least I find myself funny. So the topic of the conversation is what did I say it was? I said you come last. Yeah, you come last. Basically, we're talking about dealing with a spouse or spouses that actually put work, family, and a bunch of other stuff before their actual spouse. My question for our family today is, what are you putting above your marriage? So before I even do that, for those who don't know, I have actually updated our text club. I said I've been going to do it for a while, and I'm a man of my word. It took me a minute, but I did it. If you have not joined our text club, join the A Purpose for Life Marriage Coaching Text Club, APLMC Text Club. Very simple. All you have to do is text the letters APLMC to the number 81680. Yes, I changed the number on you people. I'm getting a funny look from across the table. I changed the number to 81680. So join the text club. Y'all know how I like to do. I like to send out some inspirational quotes for you all, just some things to encourage you all throughout your week and your marriage and your life and so forth. Just Monday through Friday. I try not to bombard you, and just a few reminders here and there, because there are some good things that we also like to share with you, including Marriage Battle 2017 coming up March 25th, y'all. March 25th is Marriage Battle 2017, and for those who have missed it, I'm actually giving away a free ticket to Marriage Battle 2017. Giving it away, y'all. How am I giving it away? You got to go to the page and find out. No, I'm actually going to tell you. Very simple. We're giving it to one lucky couple, engaged, married, so whatever. We're giving it away to one lucky couple. All you have to do is go ahead and like the Purposeful Life marriage coaching page, and then like the event. There is an event page out there for Marriage Battle 2017. Once you like the event, all you have to do is share. Share the event with your family. Share the event with your friends. Share it with your coworkers. Share it with whoever you choose to share it with. Tag yourself and hashtag Marriage Battle. Now, do this as many times as you like. For each and every time that you share and hashtag and tag yourself in this Marriage Battle post or the event, enters you into a drawing to win the free tickets to Marriage Battle 2017, y'all. Y'all know what we're doing. We're breaking down communication barriers. The contest will last until this Thursday midnight. So you have until this Thursday midnight to share like crazy, y'all. We want to see you in the building for Marriage Battle 2017 because, again, we're breaking down communication barriers. We're doing this with It Takes Two marriage coaching. We'll have breakout sessions. We'll have games. We'll have it all. We're actually going to give you the skills and the tools you need to figure out this communication thing in your marriage, y'all. Communication is the major foundation, one of the major foundations. Like you pour concrete before you build a house, you have to pour communication, and get that thing all smoothed out in order for you to be able to work out things in your own marriage.
That's right.
So we want to see you live in the building, March 25th, Fort Mill, South Carolina, for Marriage Battle 2017. And also, before I move on any more further, I also have to acknowledge if you also seen the flyer on the on APLMC's page as well as on the screen in probably 2.5 seconds, Beloved Community Church hosts Bible study each and every Tuesday and Thursday for the month of March. Brand new ministry here in the Charlotte area, and I'm actually pleased to say I'm actually sitting right directly next to the First Lady and Pastor right this quick second. Yes, so if you can actually make it out to Simmons YMCA at 6:45 to 7:45 Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout the month of March up into Easter. Oh my gosh. You're throwing down Easter, y'all. We are throwing down with the very first service of Beloved Community Church. Simmons. Yes. April 16th, 10 a.m. It's going down. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's get into our topic of the week. You come last. And I say you come last because people, and I will say myself included at one time, have been in a relationship where other things came before the marriage. Other things came before me. And y'all know me. Y'all know my love language, because we talk about love languages, is the fact that I like attention. I like physical touch, and I like attention. But in marriages, it's really, I've learned to put your spouse first. And a lot of us get off track because we put so many things before our spouses. We put so many things before our marriages, and then we wonder why it fails. We get home and we're tired, and we tend to the kids, and we get home and we just don't put any time towards our marriage, and then but yet we give our all to our jobs, and as taboo as it is, and I'll say we give our all to church. And church overtakes, your life to the fact, where your marriage actually starts to suffer. So my question is, what are you actually putting above your marriage, or have you actually put anything above your marriage? This is a pretty interesting topic. 803-692-6. What's the daggone number? Y'all remember? 803-692-6370 is the number here live in the studio. Y'all know how I am. We Marriage Unfiltered, so we just gonna talk like family today, y'all. That's how we do. So a few things that people actually put above their marriage and their spouse are children, family, church, work, and addictions. Are we guilty of any of that?
Absolutely.
Personally, are we guilty of any of that?
Absolutely. I think even now, with the launch of our new ministry, that is at the forefront in our house. We still find time for each other, but everything is about beloved. Hey, good morning, beloved. We took for dinner, beloved. You know, so everything has been about the church, and even before the launch of this ministry, just our involvement in church, it seemed like it took precedent. If we were literally at the church, it seemed like almost every day of the week. If it wasn't for choir rehearsals, dance ministries, youth ministry, you know, all sorts of activities at the church, and we would put those things first, you know. Right. So yeah, I could definitely say church and children. It's funny, as we were talking, my daughter just texted us and asked, could we bring home some ice cream and cookies? Right?
The Girl Scout cookies. That we were talking about earlier today.
Right.
Girl Scout cookies. So, okay, I'll admit, I personally was one as well, where one of the things that actually overwhelmed me was, I was super involved in church at one point in time. Why? Because I did not know how to say no.
That's right.
But it was also, I'm not going to lie, it was also an outlet for me. I'll be very candid. In my very first marriage, things were not going the best. And instead of going out there and doing things that I probably should not have done, I found myself becoming super involved in my kids' sports, super involved in, Boy Scout. I was doing Boy Scouts for my kids. I was doing sports ministry at the church. I was doing, I was basically my pastor's right-hand man, and he can call on me anytime and every time, and I'd always answer. And I was doing the audio ministry, the video ministry, updating the website. I was doing it all. I mean, to the point where I started to neglect my marriage. And so I do take, personal responsibility for, my marriage failing to a certain degree. But does it become a cop-out? When do you say no till you start to realize that I have to focus on my marriage? I have to focus on the things that, that are important to make my family actually become healthy.
When you start missing important marital or family deadlines, which I have the last 30 days, and I've said I have got to sit down and prioritize and figure out what has to go, unless you just decide tomorrow morning that the Lord says, babe, just walk off your job. That would be the ideal answer. However, but I just gotta sit down and figure out what, because I have missed every important deadline, and that is just not it's not how he wants us to operate.
I think a lot of us, we tend to bring our finances to the forefront. Absolutely. And that causes imbalance, and I always tell people, if you can balance your checkbook, you can balance your marriage. And you can have a big checkbook and your marriage is kind of in the bankruptcy stage that I call, where it gets into the red alert stage. And I've heard brothers say it, and I'm guilty of it, about 10 years ago when I had this corporate job. And when you're making a substantial amount of money and this pressure gets on you to say, you know what, you have to work 80 plus hours a week, and you got this big fat paycheck, but then I got the paycheck and I found out I was miserable.
You enjoy it.
I never found time to enjoy it, and that balance was way off. And I end up trying to please the corporation when my wife and kids were screaming, hey, spend time with us. And I'm saying, well, I'm doing this for you, 10, 20 plus years from now. And then it hit me, they may not be here 20 years from now. And that's when I had to do something different.
It was funny because as I was doing my research for this topic the other day, one of the things that I actually saw was exactly that. There was a story about a CEO who is a CEO, and for you to be an executive in a company, as being a pastor and being a first lady and so forth, that's where the majority of your time goes. And he had to wind up spending 29 days with his wife in rehab because he never knew that his wife was having an addiction problem. Because all of his time was focused on his company. And he said that had you asked him 30 days prior, would he have ever spent 29 days at a retreat, rehab, whatever you want to call it, because some of these rehab places are retreats now. But had you would have ever thought, had he spent 29 days with his wife, alone like this, he would have said, heck no. He was like, because it wasn't a priority for him. His priority was his job. And so we usually, and I was mentioning as Cody and I were having this conversation the other day, we usually tend our attention to the thing that screams the most. Right. So if there's a car with 4 squeaky wheels, or or a car with wheels, we usually tend to only the wheel that's squeaky. That's right. Instead of the other wheels in doing that preventative maintenance before it gets to the point where it's squeaking. So we're spending the majority of our time, and we're neglecting, while these other 3 wheels are rolling good, I'm neglecting, the fact that those wheels are rolling good, and I'm focused on that squeaky wheel. And that's, how businesses work, or how life works, where you're focusing majority of your time on the fact of, my job is calling my attention. And sometimes you can't help, because your job has demands, and I'm sure Cody can definitely attest to this, as she just mentioned, where your job pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls.
You know what else I realized too is that when we started our ministry, one pastor friend of mine that I really learned from him is the ministry tore up their marriage, and it struck me like, how could that happen? And he said, you know what, you'll be surprised, because when you're coming up, and let's say the male pastor, he has the music ministry, he has the TV ministry, and everything's going well, and his wife was on the back burner looking at him rising up, and somehow the congregation got in her ear and said, you should be doing this. And before you know it, they split up, and she took the congregation and he was left behind. To make a long story short, what I'm saying is, when God puts you in certain places to hear folks listen, to hear certain things, my wife and I, when we did this thing, we started it together. We went knees and elbows together, scraping and painting and doing it all together. So when we come up, we rise up together, elbow to elbow, but then we give God the increase, because it's all about him anyway. And when people start chirping in your ear, you have to be mindful of where God put you. They didn't put them there, they put you guys there, and you work it out together regardless, through thick and thin. And that's our motto. Me and my wife, we stick together through thick and thin. Oh yeah.
I think if you pull away the church and pull away corporate America, I think it's all about the relationship.
Absolutely.
Though. Okay. Because it depends on the foundation of that relationship when you walk into new jobs, and because the demands in life to be successful, to be competent, to be validated, that's out there, and it's always going to be there. That's right. What's the foundation of your relationship? Because when marriages fall apart, or that's the end result of something that was not uncovered.
That's right.
So there's other issues. So it goes back to the relationship, not necessarily church. We can blame church, not necessarily corporate America. The marriage, the household, the relationship, the communication. Because you can be home and not be home.
Wow. Absolutely.
So no matter if you change your hours at the job, or you get a new job and you're at home more, you can still be home and disconnected.
Exactly.
So to piggyback off of that, so if you're working on home, let's say for example, based off of where you are, if you're working on home and the foundation is set, you doing the right things, you worshiping, everything is good, and you out there doing your grind, but yet home front, the communication piece is there. Is that okay? Are you saying, hey, me and my wife, me and my husband, we got a good connect, I'm out here doing my thing, she knows what I'm doing, and we're constantly keeping that communication open? You have to.
I used to work in higher ed, and I would tell parents all the time, you're about to drop your son or daughter off to this institution, right? Don't stop the communication that you have with your child. Right. Because we tend to say, well, I don't want to be a helicopter parent, I want to give them space. Whatever the communication style and the number of times you communicate with them, continue to do that.
Yeah.
Most people
and there were times where he didn't even have dinner with us. And I remember telling him one day, do not let me get used to you not being here. I remember telling him that. And I said, the kids are now being comfortable with you not being here because you're at the college taking care of other people's kids, seeing about them. That your kids are now being comfortable with the fact that you're not sitting at your seat at the table. And I told him, I said, do not let us get comfortable with this, because then that's going to pull us apart. And so when God interrupted the plan and said, okay, I got something else for you to do, he did not do it alone. We walked alongside each other, doing it together, along with our children. We are all in. Everybody's 100% in this new walk that we're taking together, and we're taking it together as a family. So if we succeed, praise God. If we fail, praise God. But we're doing it together as a family, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the family that's going to be the one that's remaining.
Right. And I like what you actually just said in that, because, and Leon, you also touched on it just a moment ago. It's that when you got to this point, when you've gotten to the point, one, you've communicated. Two, you decided, and Moses said the same thing, that you're doing it together. So that way one person or the family is not left behind. Because my question will start to go, okay, so how do you start to, how do you prevent? How do you, once you realize that, okay, my job is starting to become overwhelming. The kids, the school is becoming overwhelming. How do you still stay connected to your spouse?
I think, again, it's going to take communication, but I think you have to now start thinking about what is it that you value, right? All right, that validation, chasing money. You hear a lot of people change jobs because they've chased the dollar. And lost the family. And before they know it, their kids are driving. And they done missed birthday 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, right? So you have to go back to, okay, how do I create a balance? What does the balance look like? All right? That is a formula for the household. That's not a formula that fits all. It's a formula for the household. So what works for both individuals in the relationship? Is it communication? Is it date night? Is it movie night? All right. Is it cutting down the hours? If there's cutting down the hours that impacts the job, how do we compensate? Because I may lose income now. Because most people think I can't change my work life, right? Because we're going to lose, and we have acquired a lifestyle that we like to live.
There you go. There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So once we have this lifestyle we like to live, it's hard to pull back because bills are already created. So we stay in it. And we ask spouse to come along and walk with us through the struggle, when we can make a healthy decision to just change how we live.
And speaking of that, on the flip side of that, when it comes to our children, I like to put that wants versus needs when it comes to our children, because a lot of times we want our kids to participate in all these sports. And one thing that I realize is that a lot of times we have our kids a little too busy. Let me just say that for a second, because a real successful friend of mine said, you know what? I once had my child in football, baseball, soccer, volleyball, you name it. And then I said, you know what? Let me put them in one, because what kids tend to do is, I want to try this, and they halfway do it. I want to try that and halfway do it. No, if you're going to start it, you're going to finish it. And I want you to finish it all the way to that season, and I'll support you 100%. And then we continue those healthy ways of getting them involved, because if you let them jump out of there, then you're teaching them how to quit.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as they get, no, let's get in it. I'll help you get whatever you need to keep that ball rolling, to see if that's something you want to do. And now you know, when you get ready to start this next one, you better be ready to go, because I'm not letting you quit.
And let's not forget, as married couples, we're setting the blueprint or for our kids. For them, for when they get older, for them to look and say, you know what, mom did this or dad did this, this is what I want, or this is what I didn't want to do. And I'll be, don't call in, because I know she got the number somewhere, but I'm going to give my own personal, this is not what I saw in my household growing up. Now, I don't know the ins and I do know, but I don't know the ins and out of exactly what happened. But I knew what I saw, I did not want for my own marriage. I knew what I saw with my mom out the house and my dad kind of being distant. That it tore them apart to the fact that they got a divorce. They got a divorce when I was about 11 and 12. And now, again, can I tell you the exact reason? No, I was 11 and 12, so I really didn't know. But I can tell you what I observed. And what I observed was the fact that my mother was out of the house the majority of the time. She was a teacher. So she was, teaching. She had, classes. Then she was, youth leader. And then, we had sports and this, that, and the third. My father was working. And when he wasn't working, it was just it was a very interesting, situation in our household. And so I knew for myself, that's not what I wanted when I grew up. So again, we have to remember as parents and as married couples that we are setting a blueprint for our kids to see and even to go by. Right. So to see, like you said, don't let don't let the family get used to the fact that dad's not home. Right. What are you saying to your kids?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little slippery slope because again, you do have to provide. You do have to, maintain the aspect of, we have a life, those type of things. But I will say, because Cody and I, we are intentional. We in our yearly planning, we do planning yearly for our marriage and our family, and our goals for this year, we make sure that we put on our board that yes, while we're spending family time and we're focusing on these set of goals, we can't lose us. That's right. That we have to. We will continue to date every month, so we have set aside. And that's not specifically a date, but we know that in the month of March, just like in the month of January and February, we have gone on a date. So that way we don't lose us in our marriage.
Yep. No matter how busy it gets, that is priority. And we will cancel other stuff to make sure we get that in.
And it was funny. It was funny because even the other day, I was purchasing tickets to an event. Now, this is part of frugal me and part of me being selfish. But I was like, so we taking the 4 kids with us to this show? And she was like, well, we will have the kids that day. And I'm going, yeah, but we also need our date night. And she was like, well, I guess the kids are staying home. Now, part of me was happy because I didn't have to come out the pocket to pay for tickets for the 6 of us. And the other part of me was like, I get to have, a date night with my wife. We don't let things overwhelm us to the fact that we forget about our marriage.
And I will say, as a mother, that is still tough for me. Yeah. Leaving the children out because I never want them to feel like they're left out, or in our case, we're a blended family, never want the boys to feel like I'm taking their dad from them. Right. So we try to be very intentional to say, hey, although we will have our one-on-one time, we definitely are intentional on making sure we also have family time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the model of what is family has changed throughout the years.
It has.
It's defined totally different now.
Yep.
The makeup of family, the expectation of family, the way we discipline and raise our children has changed drastically too. And so I think we have to also be culturally relevant. As couples, absolutely, as well as parents, because there are different things that's going on in the kids' lives that we have to be mindful of, and also in adult lives.
I think because because times have changed, and if you notice, the model, like you said, the model has changed, and we've gotten away from it. Now everything is instant.
Yes.
So we can go online, go to a website, and create an instant family. I can get an instant husband. I can match this. I don't have to date anymore. I don't have to get to know any values or anything. I can just go and see what I want and click that button. I can go oh God, I almost went on a soapbox. But you know what?
That's real.
I commend you for that, because we got to get back to the foundation, and the foundation is, of course, God first, and of course, family structure. That's right. Husband, wife, children,
even in a blended family.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that can be tough.
That's right.
But it's very important that same structure is modeled in order for it to be successful.
Exactly. Because again, you don't want to get to the point where you're realizing that I've lost my family because I have not followed that model. I have not followed what God ordained for the family in marriage to be like. And that was something I had to get my head wrapped around, because like Cody said, being in a blended family, you don't want your kids to feel like, dad's being pulled here or mom's being pulled there, or I'm pitting mom against dad, or vice versa and so forth, because again, we have to be that blueprint. Wow, y'all.
and let me just say this as well, that the church has the same challenge which is the foundation of your marriage, right? If you believe, right? To be culturally relevant.
Yeah.
The church has the same challenge. That's why there's less young adults and less youth in church. Because the church holding on to tradition. So we got a conflict now. This is part 2. We might have to come back. But there's a conflict because tradition is valuable in relationships and marriages, right? Church, tradition is important, right? But culturally relevant, kind of, you have to tweak tradition.
That means change.
Okay. So what does the church look like? And this is why we're trying. There's a book out and that this guy wrote about teenagers talking about You've Lost Me.
Come on.
Talking about the church. And it was interviews of young people that he interviewed to say, I can't even relate to the church.
Come on.
Look how much society has changed, and we're still saying tradition.
Yeah, you're right.
And what churches are closing and their doors are shutting because they're holding on to something that they haven't learned to just tweak and change. And all. Same with marriages. Why allow your marriage to fail when it's just a little tweak?
Absolutely. I'm not going. You're not pulling me in, Leon. I'm because I almost went to the Old Testament and all the way down to New Testament. If y'all want to talk about change, you can go back to how they used to do things back then.
Right.
But that's a whole nother show right there. Ooh, child.
Or even look at your marriages related to. I grew up with a dad who taught me about cars. He taught us all how to maintain our cars. And I look at that, what we do on a continual basis in the maintenance of our car is no difference than the maintenance that we should do to our marriages.
Come on now, I love that.
If you need a tune-up, go to a conference.
You better do it.
If you need a oil change, call up a marriage coach and say, hey, we just need to come in for about 30 minutes.
That's right.
Just to bounce some things off of you.
And don't wait till the light come on.
Exactly.
You did that.
Maintenance.
You did that, boy. You did that.
Boy, y'all got me tonight.
That's a word. That's a word right there.
Preventive maintenance. There you go. Right there.
That's good.
Feel good,
man. That's good.
He got the Holy Ghost shake over.
Look, y'all got me stirred up. I'm trying to hold it together.
Y'all, oh my gosh, I so enjoyed Leon. I lie to you not. This might have to be a part 2. I might have to have y'all in here next week.
Whatever we can do to help.
But I always tell all of our guests, anytime you want to come in the studio, as well as you all there in Facebook and WBND Radio Land, feel
studio
free.
Wide open. We got couches. We got kitchen. Y'all come on, hang out with us.
Come hang out with Ty and Cody on purpose. Y'all know how we do.
You know what? I just have to ask Leon to answer this question.
Yes.
How do you feel about Christian rap? Do you think it will get the youth back in church? Explain a little bit about the structure of Beloved.
Beloved, as God continues to reveal this to me, Beloved is going to be such a contemporary church experience. We bringing the DJ in off the top. Right. To just to let, because young adults, we have that strong vibe of LL Cool J and or Public Enemy. We come from a strong hip hop background, and so I think the DJ is important, but I think keeping it tasteful is what's really important. Right. And to help kids understand that you can do a lot of the dances, not all, a lot of the dances that you're doing, and just tweak them, culturally relevant, and be on a praise team in the church doing the same thing.
You're right.
I don't want kids to move away from the church because it's too narrow.
Right.
And that doesn't mean sacrifice the gospel.
Nope, it does not.
Because you still have to preach and teach the right things.
Right.
But you do have to offer the kids something different that'll grab them. Kirk Franklin did a wonderful thing for us.
Job. Yes, he did.
And then many more came after him to say, we can stomp. We can have fun.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge is going to be, how do we now be cross-generational? Because our seasoned saints need a landing place. For the next 15 years of their life, where do I go?
Yeah.
That still speaks to me.
Yep.
The young adults are saying, well, you holding on tradition, but you're losing me. And the kids we've pushed to the side, to the second table, on the kids' table and said, well, that's just you stuff. The church has to be cross-generational. That's nothing
that balance.
New. Yeah. But we have to look at all the millennials, all the different groupings that's out there.
That's right.
And so, I think hip-hop going to play a major role in the church in the sense of it's going to keep their ear connected to the word.
That's right.
And the difference going to be, and here's the challenge for the church, they may not have to be inside the four walls.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that.
And we're going to have to be okay.
Yep.
Because Jesus didn't do it in between four walls.
He sure did not. Right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So for those who didn't realize who was just speaking, this is for those y'all know I share this each and every week about Beloved Community Church here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Yo, I can't say it enough. Every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:45 to 7:45 p.m. we are doing a great Bible study. The New Me Journey. What's this week, Leon?
This week is the withered tree, the withered fig tree. Everybody remember the story. Jesus came up on the fig tree, and the tree didn't have no fruit.
Okay.
So all there was leaves. And I'm going to give you a little bit of tomorrow's lesson. If you look back to the Adam and Eve story, once they sinned, they hid themselves with what?
Fig leaves.
Fig leaves. So leaves are just covering of sin, which means there's no fruit coming from that fig. There was no fruit left in Adam at that time once he had sinned. So when Jesus walk up on your life, or you decide that you're going to walk with Jesus, he's looking for fruit. And most of us dress it up with just fig leaves.
Listen.
Man, if y'all are not in the building tomorrow at Simmons YMCA, that's only a tidbit of it, y'all. Y'all know how we do each and every Monday on Ty and Cody on Purpose. I'm so excited, and thank y'all for joining us. Ty and Cody on Purpose each and every Monday here from 8 to 9 p.m. on WB&D Radio, where we live purposefully.
Love purposefully.
Thank you, Leon, and thank you, Rochelle, for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Peace. So, Facebook family, thank you all for joining us each and every Monday from 8 to 9 p.m. on WB&D. We had a great show. We even actually went over time, and I'm glad he almost had to he played the daggone orchestra music on us. Yeah, but we have a great time. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget, you can go back and rewatch this, and you can share this with your family and your friends. Don't forget also, Beloved Community Church, Tuesdays and Thursdays are Bible studies from 6:45 to 7:45 at Simmons YMCA in East Charlotte. And also, don't forget about Marriage Battle 2017. Go out there and share the event. Don't forget to hashtag Marriage Battle and tag yourself so you are entered in the chance to win the free ticket March 25th. We talked about communication tonight, how important communication is even when you feel like you're being left out or overshadowed by the church, your kids, this, that, and the third. Hey, if you have a communication foundation, you don't even have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and battle those that communication demon in your marriage and knock it out, give you the skills and the tools that you need. We look forward to seeing you all next Monday, right here, same place, same time. Ty and Cody on Purpose. Peace.
Night.
Bye.